You know, if you take everything I've accomplished in my entire life and condense it down into one day, it looks decent.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Decent Show. Episode 3 of the weekend here. Reagan and I have been crushing it, as always, getting killer workouts in and even better podcasts. So, Reagan, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm ready to, late as always. We always are late to things, We're going to do our end of the year awards show, and it's almost February, but whatever, Still early.
The month's not up. I think we're right on time. But definitely, I'm excited for this episode. I don't know why. I guess you had probably already thought of it before because I feel like you've mentioned it, but I guess I forgot about it. But yeah, definitely excited. I was just going through the list. We were doing a little show prep here, which really consists of us writing scribble on a note card for about 5-10 minutes. But the show, the show prep. Looking at the IMDb list, I saw a lot of movies this year, and there was a lot of movies I didn't see, but even so, because of that, my list got out of hand. I don't know about yours. You probably won't even be able to read mine, so I'm just going to show you from here.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, like it got out of hand.
You definitely needed a full piece of paper.
I needed a piece of paper. So the other thing I wanted to say, I had something funny to say and I forgot. But yeah, so
oh man,
2018 in review, very exciting stuff.
All right, for those of you listening, this is of course the Decent Show. We will be giving out a variety of awards.
Yes.
First up, we're going to give Best Movie of the Year. So
it is decided. We are deciding the best movie of the year.
Yes.
Right here on the Decent
Undeniably.
Show.
To me, it's a two-horse race, really.
Oh, wow. I've got several horses in my race.
Nice. That's quite the race. Bet on the ponies. His mother was a mutter. Anyway.
Father was a mutter?
Anyway, so to me, it's either Avengers or Quiet Place.
You're going right into best?
Yeah. Right into
best movie. You're right here at the top of the show. We're doing best movie. Okay.
Well, it's the Decent Show, so our last award should be the Decent Award.
So
where are we going to start? We're going to start with the best.
We got to start with the best.
So, best movie, I'm going to give to Avengers. No surprise. I freaking love that movie.
Blown away.
I love all the Marvel movies.
Okay. I'm not surprised.
And they knocked it out of the park, and I don't know, all the stuff I've said on previous podcasts, basically. But I want to give some love to Quiet Place because...
Quiet Place is second?
Yeah. Thought it looked dope. It's one of the few movies where a trailer looks good and the movie is actually better than the trailer, which the trailer looks good,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Able to fulfill it. It's short, it feels right, the pacing's right. I love John Krasinski in the role. Like, it's a really unique concept.
Uh-huh.
I've never seen a movie with the concept of, creatures running around and they can hear you so you can't make any noise. And then Bird Box, does the thing with sight. Not as good of a movie, but a movie that I saw and I would say was pretty good. I think that kind of botches the ending, which is the only problem I really have with it. But to me, like A Quiet Place, Avengers, like those movies, specifically Avengers, is like, to me, as perfect as a movie can get. I don't think any movie's perfect, but like I would be down to watch those movies any day of the next year. That's what I'm saying there. So, what best movies for you?
No, hang on. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay,
have you seen Avengers? When's the last time you saw Avengers? Infinity Wars.
The
movie you gave movie of the year. You saw it how many times in theaters?
I saw it. Let's see. I saw it twice opening weekend.
Okay.
And then I saw it right before it got out of theaters, so it must have been like in July or something.
Saw it right before it got out of theaters, so 3 times in theaters?
Yeah, 3 times in theaters, and then I know I watched it. It was either. It was like September, August, that area of time where I watched it again because it came out on iTunes or whatever, and I bought it, and then I watched it again for some reason, But again, a testament to that movie is I was like, I just want to, sit down. I maybe want to watch a scene or two, and I ended up just staying. I was like, I want to watch this whole movie, honestly. I had time. I wasn't doing anything. I was like, I want to watch this whole movie.
So 4 times?
Yeah, I've seen it 4 times.
So you haven't seen it since you watched it on iTunes?
No.
Okay.
And that was 3 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you holding up?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, good.
I don't know. It's one of those things. We get so many superhero movies. I don't want to be burnt out on them. So, like, once I see them in theaters, with this movie being the exception, because there was so much hype for it, and I saw it with different people every time who hadn't seen it, and I was like, well, I'm down to see it again. I liked it. Did
we see it?
No, we didn't see it. No. I remember.
I saw it.
Yeah, I remember you saw it when you were at work, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You took a break and
Yeah.
went and saw
Break at the theater.
Yeah.
Classic movie theater break.
Interesting. Both these movies to me had like the theater effect that was like never there before. Like A Quiet Place, everyone's quiet, everyone's tense, and in Avengers, like everyone's hyped as hell. Like it's they're at a
It's like
sport.
it's a show.
It like seemed like it was at a sporting event, and I was like, part of me was like, dude, why are you clapping? No one can hear you. But at the same time, I was like, this gets me hyped as hell because the reveals in that movie are like when Captain America's like in the subway and you hear his music start to like build up and like everyone gets hyped. Like I remember that. I remember how everyone was like gasping basically. Like I heard people like shout no basically whenever Tony Stark gets stabbed by Thanos. They thought he was going, and then everyone turns to dust and it's like absolutely quiet in there. You think we walked into a quiet place basically, and it's just like I don't know. I like those experiences too, which is a big part of why they're the best movies to me. Specifically, Avengers is the best movie for me.
Yeah. Wow. See, that's a great point because it's absolutely true. Like seeing Avengers is like a show, like a sporting event, anything. Yeah, because the crowd is like reacting the whole movie, and like every emotion that you feel inside, people are letting out audibly, which is nice.
I don't want that every movie.
Of course, no.
And I don't
God,
even
no.
want that a lot. Like
No.
I'm glad. I was glad the third time I saw it, how everyone was just. It was more chill. You know, I was glad I didn't have to go through that again. But I remember I saw it opening night, and then I saw it 2 nights later because my roommate was like, "Dude, that was fucking dope. Let's see it again." And I was like, "I'm not gonna fight you on it." And we went and saw it again, and I like, you know, I knew what was happening, so I was able to like prepare myself for it, and I really enjoyed that. You know, there was like a 16, 18-year-old girl like next to me, and she was like, you know, she was a grown person or looked kind of grown. She was with her mom, but she wasn't like a little kid, and like she was crying into her mom's shoulder, and I was like, that is freaking nuts. Like, that's a little too much, but I was like, I like how into it people got.
Of course. Okay.
All right, so your best movie?
No, I'm still not done with you.
Good Lord.
Well, I mean, hey, you're the one who kept talking about it, but yeah. So it's insane because I honestly get disappointed when I saw like when I saw the newer Star Wars movies because like when I saw Force Awakens, like the crowd was going wild that whole movie.
Yeah.
During Force Awakens, and so same with like the Avengers. Like most of the time when you saw that movie, the crowd normally went wild.
Yeah.
And so you made me think of an example of. Like, I do enjoy it, because it kind of makes me mad when, like, one guy will start clapping, and, like, nobody will join him. It's like, come on, back the guy up. Like,
it's embarrassing. You feel embarrassed for him.
Oh, yeah, he's taking a risk. He's making himself look like an idiot, and, like, nobody's backing him up. And you know they're all feeling it, because, like, you just feel it. You're like, oh, yeah, like, they did that.
There's just certain things.
I'm just not a clapper, you know.
Yeah,
It's not my thing. I'm not used to clapping in the movie. But, like, I definitely agree that is a movie that it's okay to make noise. And I actually enjoy it. It gets me even more into it. Mm-hmm. So that's okay. But the one time that I could not stand the audible response.
Let me guess. Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. I couldn't stand it. I was like, why are you making noise for this movie? This movie's awful. Like, you just laughed at something that nobody else laughed at. Like, there was, like, a row that was making the noises. I feel like every other row was just like, this is it?
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibe I felt. Like, you could just feel it. And, like, there's one row, it's just like, ha, ha, ah. Anyway, so yeah, awful.
One more thing is, like,
Quiet Place.
You reminded me, like, when I first saw the movie, like, everyone's so, like, hyped for it, and, you know, their Marvel movies have pretty good amount of jokes, but on the top of that, we have so many characters that are funny, and they're all together. Like, I missed a lot of jokes the first time, and, you know, part of me is like, well, I'm pissed I missed those jokes, but at the same time, like, I think I would have missed those jokes anyway, just because, like, I was laughing at the last one.
Yeah.
Like, they're back and forth, because we got all these, like, snaps at, you know, how weird Doctor Strange looks, and then Spider-Man's there doing his thing, and then the Guardians are making a bunch of jackass jokes, and then Chris Hemsworth is making jokes, which is also, like, I love how, like, Chris Hemsworth is hilarious, and then also Chris Pine is hilarious, or, sorry, not Chris Pine, Chris Pratt is hilarious, and I just love how they're together in that movie, and they're both, like, sort of ripping on each other.
Oh, yeah. No, it's honestly, I need to hurry up and get Gamble caught up on the Avengers movies, or the Marvel movies. I don't know how many we're behind to where we can watch Infinity Wars without him being like, wait, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, what does this mean? Or why is this significant? I feel like we're pretty much there because we watched Civil War, and that was like the big road hump that we hadn't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping really soon that we can watch Infinity Wars because now, like, especially now, like, I'm dying to rewatch it. I haven't seen it since theaters, and I think I only saw it one time. Obviously, I loved it. I don't know. With movies that epic, I have a hard time seeing it back to back.
Yeah. I mean, it's really epic. The scale is really big.
Yeah.
Like, it's heavy too. Like it's not, it is like a lot of jokes and stuff, but they're like, it's a lot of, there is story to it too.
Exactly.
And it's over 2.5 hours.
It's long.
It's a hard movie to get through. Even some of your gangster movies you really like. I mean, like, you're
Yeah,
not
it's
gonna
not
watch
like-
The Godfather every month.
I haven't watched The Godfather in years.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, it's definitely like that. I honestly, unless I like have to rewatch a movie, like if it was like a mom or girlfriend situation, like when you have to see the movie again,
We've all been
either because you didn't tell them you already saw it, or because or because they make you see it with them, even though you've already seen it, kind of thing. So unless it's one of those, I really don't like re-seeing any movie significantly soon. So anyway, that I'm getting sidetracked here. But the main question I had for you, this is the question I had from the very beginning, really, was what are your other honorable mentions? Because did you have anything else written down in best, or was it just those two movies?
Those are the two movies that I know are at the top. Like, I know, like, that's Michael Jordan, that's Kobe Bryant,
Yes. Do you have a third place though? Just because.
I don't know.
Just anything else? Just because I already know those movies. I want more.
You want more? I don't know. To me, like, we just saw Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Like, I would throw that in there. I would throw Incredibles 2 in there as well.
That's all I wanted to hear.
I think Spider-Verse is better than Incredibles 2, but I still would throw both those movies in there.
Okay.
And
That's all I wanted to do. I mean,
Yeah.
keep going if you got more, but that's what I wanted to hear. Just because because that's interesting. Because
Yeah.
we already knew that you liked Avengers and Quiet Place. I wanted something else.
that's honestly the thing this year is, like, I'm not at high, like super high, like on
On a
a
lot of
movie,
stuff.
and I'm not super low on a lot of movies. That's why it was so hard to find a best and a worst.
But I'm sure
sorry, so hard to find a worst. I knew what the best was, but
Of course. So it sounds like your most decent category might be overflowing.
there's not a lot of nominees, and I can't wait to talk about them.
Okay, very good. Well, I guess I'll move it along here. So my best, honestly, I haven't decided yet. I'm going to be deciding live on air. That can't go wrong. So I wrote down Avengers,
Nice.
Fallout.
Nice. Wow.
Wow. Now, this one's a stretch. I think I wrote it down, but I'm going to take it back. I wrote down Incredibles, too.
Okay.
To me, great movie, but I'm never going to pick it for best.
Okay.
But good movie. So right now I got Avengers, Fallout, Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2. Wow.
Ant-Man 2 made it, yeah. And then kind of just like looking through everything else I have in here. Like I've got other like big time movies kind of mentioned throughout, but yeah, I had a hard time going. Yeah, this deserves to be the best. And this one I did very opinionated. I'm not going to sit here and act like this was the best movie
of
of 2018.
course, yeah.
This is my opinion. This is the movie that I probably most enjoyed. This movie was actually in. I think it made 2 categories. Yep, it made 2 categories. So I'm going to go with Ant-Man 2.
Best movie of the year.
Yeah, for
Wow.
me, yeah. Because, that's the one movie I saw twice, and I really enjoyed it both times.
Wow. All right.
I think it was solid sequel, solid jokes. Like, it was hilarious. Like, Paul Rudd is, like, perfect as Ant-Man. The Wasp, the Wasp, the chick, hot as shit, like, kicked ass. Like, she was great. I don't know. Like, it was just a really complete movie for me.
Yeah.
And I saw it twice. And like again, I actually dreaded going to see it a second time. I was like, man, I already kind of saw this, but I was like, whatever. Like my mom hadn't seen it; she wants to see it, and we had a blast. Like it was great. Like we laughed our ass off. It was a great movie. So I was like, you know what, that was good. Like I'm glad I saw it again.
The second one is really like more Paul Rudd humor than the first one.
Yeah, it really is, and it just I'm tired of origin stories, and this movie it had everything developed because the first Ant-Man's good. I've rewatched that too. First Ant-Man is good, and I love Michael Pena and T.I. Like I love the fact that they're part of the crew and they're ridiculous. Like I love the little henchman
And
crew.
they bring back that story, and you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And you feel stupid for not seeing it coming.
Exactly. All of it just super well done. Like honestly, That's how you do a sequel.
Uh-huh.
Like that's like Rush Hour 2 for me.
Yeah,
Like that's
nice.
a good ass sequel. Like and I like the sequel more than the first one, without disrespecting the first one.
Yeah.
This first one's great in both Rush Hour and Ant-Man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with Ant-Man 2 as my movie of the year.
Nice. All right, so we'll move right on to worst.
Worst. We're going into worst.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Worst movie.
Really,
of the
you
year.
guys, you fans are lucky, man. You're getting this shit at the top.
Well, the best one is at the end.
I
The
know,
most
but they're
decent.
getting great shit at the beginning of the show.
All right, so worst.
Worst.
To me, I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Skeleton Key. It was the Insidious.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, I forgot.
Now this is a prelude, right? Insidious
Yeah.
prelude.
Yeah, this is a prequel sequel.
Prequel sequel. Yeah,
which
my
is
favorite.
One of the worst ideas ever. I hate it so much.
Love the prequel sequel.
Anyway,
Even Star Wars couldn't make it work.
It's so dumb. Anyway,
Got some nerve.
I don't know. To me, like, I don't hate it. You know, like, I don't despise its existence because I'm like, it's a crappy horror movie. No one had a bunch of expectations for it. I didn't have a bunch of. I didn't even see it in theaters. Like, but I just saw it, you know, online or whatever because like, I know people that really like horror movies, so I had to watch like a horror movie, and I don't really have high expectations for horror movies anyway. And I'll use this time to give a shout out to like Halloween, which I thought was actually a good horror movie with a good story that made sense, even though the character didn't make sense sometimes. But nevertheless, like Skeleton Key isn't my worst movie of the year. It's only saved because of its expectations. Like
Low.
yeah, exactly. I have no expectations for it, and
This is the fourth one, isn't it? It's the fourth or fifth.
I don't. It's called The Last Key. I think it's called The Last Key or The Skeleton Key.
I believe it's the last key.
It should be the last movie, is what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
of
Like,
course.
it's terrible.
It's awful.
But yeah, another one. This is gonna surprise you, but I've had some time to reflect on it.
Okay.
And this is just also me making up rules, like we for
Making
this
up
list.
rules, okay.
Equalizer 2.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was just. It's Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington is a phenomenal actor. He's a great actor.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Equalizer 2's in my worst
Nice,
as well.
dude.
Isn't that crazy?
I was,
Dude, props!
I was worried you were gonna.
Nah.
I don't know. Forget
Nah.
about it or whatever.
I saw it, I was like, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's the exact opposite of Ant-Man. It's a bad sequel
Bad
that's
sequel.
maybe worse than the original.
Oh, easily. And the
Uh,
original wasn't that good.
Yeah, and it's just it's boring at parts. It's dull at parts. It's just a great actor in an action movie. We should have something here. There's very little creativity in it.
Yeah.
There's very little chances for like Denzel Washington to say his like, I don't know, his like sassy like super insulting remarks to people, which I love. And,
Yeah.
like I love when he does it in this movie, but it doesn't, you know.
No, it falls
And
short.
then they have that stupid friend twist at the end.
Yeah, the Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Literally, I've heard somebody else call it that.
The Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I think CinemaSins called it. Like, literally, you and I have been talking about this for a good minute, and I'm pretty sure CinemaSins released a video on everything wrong with Equalizer 2, and he's like, here we go with Pedro Pascal, doing the Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Like
I recently watched something, and I was watching it with someone, and I said, yeah, his friend's going to turn on him. And they were like, how do you know that? Like, and I was like, because it's the trope. Like, it's the exact same situation, too. It's like, they knew each other from a long time ago.
Yep.
They're
What
still,
was the movie?
I don't want to tell you because I don't want to ruin it for you, you know?
You don't want to, well, when are you going to tell me?
All right, I'll just tell you. All right, spoilers for Punisher Season 1.
Oh.
Punisher's great. You should watch
I
Punisher.
will, I will.
But that twist is so, like, it's so obvious that's going to happen.
Is it Pedro Pascal?
No, it's not.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's
I was really hoping
But
it
it's
was-
the same. I was hoping. I know. I wish that was too. But it's the same thing where it's a military guy or paramilitary guys, and one of them has a nice cushy life. One of them is like recovering or whatever, and they come back into each other's lives, and of course the other one makes a deal to like make more money somehow. You know, it's just dumb. It's a dumb twist.
Of course.
Anyway, and so
And
the
you were watching it and you were just like, he's
Yeah.
going to turn on him. How
I was
do you
like-
know?
I was like, yeah, I know, because I've seen this in 2 movies already, like in the last 6 months. Like I know what's going to happen.
They're setting it up. It's a meatball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
What do you mean by meatball?
Like it's a home run. Like it's a fat meatball
Okay.
down the middle. You
Okay.
can't miss it. Like it's.
So worst movie of the year, Rampage.
Oh wow! Did you have any other honorable mentions? You said What did you say?
Unless I'm forgetting something.
You said Insidious, Equalizer 2, and
that's it. Those are my honorable mentions for worst movie of the year.
And you landed on
Rampage.
Rampage is the worst movie of the year. Wow,
It's
I'm
dull.
insulted.
It's boring.
It's awful.
It's about giant monsters destroying a city. That should be an awesome popcorn movie.
Of course,
just enjoy yourself.
Should be.
And I'm not asking for like scientific
accuracy.
I'm not asking for the most coherent plot ever, and it still can't deliver those things. And I hate it when that guy says, "Us assholes have to stick together." I hate it so much.
It's awful.
So much.
It's an awful movie.
So yeah, that's the worst movie of the year. And honestly, yeah, The Rock's on a bad streak, if you ask me. Just because this movie sucks, and
what else is on the streak? Baywatch
is on the list.
Okay, what else is on the list?
Jumanji's not bad, but Jumanji's not good either, and we need to stop pretending it is good.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem I have is all three of those movies. Like people, maybe not Rampage, but like the other, Baywatch and Jumanji. I guess because they're comedies, like people generally like them, and it's just like, why are we accepting this?
Yeah, it's not.
Why are we accepting this weak comedy from solid actors?
Yeah.
Like the people in the movie, it's not it's not necessarily their fault. I appreciate most of the actors in these movies.
And
it's just awful movies.
And the points you're making really come into play in the next category for me, because like those are things I was gonna say.
And
we're gonna do surprise, the biggest surprise of the year next.
Okay,
but let's get to your worst movie of the year.
Okay, but what were the things you're gonna say? Kind of just like
about the comedy and the, big name actors.
So this is another one. Like honestly, worst movie of the year. I've got quite a few, and I'm having a hard time. Like,
you gotta pick one.
Just of course. Thanks, but I'm having a hard time deciding. But I think you'll get a kick out of some of this. So I had Rampage as well. So where we match is I have Rampage on here and I have Equalizer 2 on here.
Nice.
Now I want you to bear with me on some of this. Now, other nominees for worst movie of the year are Maze Runner.
Okay. Yep.
Venom.
Venom.
A movie I haven't seen in Holmes and Watson. I threw it in there because how could I not, dude? Like, I don't even have to see it. If it's that bad,
and the trailers look terrible.
It's just all awful. Like, literally just cross the board, like, awful. And so I put it on there because I have to. Like, because I was excited for it.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly were doing a movie again and it wasn't Step Brothers 2, I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
Like, what's up? And so yeah, I put it in there. I'm not going to pick it just because I haven't seen it, but I figured it had to be mentioned.
Yeah.
Huge disappointment there. Annihilation, which I've mentioned in a previous episode, with Natalie Portman, sci-fi movie. Jurassic World 2.
Nice.
Yes.
That will definitely be on other categories.
That is in the category for me. So Jurassic World 2, Pacific Rim 2.
Oh, wow. I forgot about that movie.
Yep.
Wow.
So I've got a lot of good ones in my opinion. So I'm going to start knocking them off to make it easier for myself. You picked Rampage, so I won't pick Rampage. Also because it has The Rock. But I agree with everything that you said. Awful movie. It should have, at the very least, yes, been entertaining.
Yeah.
Like...
And the CGI monster battling isn't even that interesting.
Even not that good, not that great, and there's not that much of it.
Yeah, there's not that much of it. Like, there's some decent parts of it, but it's all the way at the end of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if budget was a concern for them, but yeah, they definitely just felt like they had no clue what they were doing. Like, they didn't know anything from telling a joke to developing a character to having just great fighting. Like, even if the Godzilla movie has no story, make Godzilla a badass. Yeah. Make Rampage and all the other fools a badass. Make it enjoyable. And that's why I won't pick Venom either, because, again, no clear sense of direction, so much awfulness in it, so much disappointment considering the hype, but at least Venom was pretty dope. Like, he had some dope moments, he did some Venom shit, so I won't put that in there. Holmes and Watson, again, knocked out because I haven't seen it. Equalizer 2, knocked out because it's got Denzel. Annihilation, I talked about a lot on a previous episode.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to leave it out as well, but it was really bad, but I had no expectations for it either. I don't think a lot of people hadn't even heard of it. I really want to pick Maze Runner. I won't, just because it's, like, I made it through it. It wasn't the end of the world. The movie that I really was disgusted with, I'm going to pick Jurassic World 2.
Okay.
And the
really?
reason I'm picking it as the worst is because I had the highest expectations for it.
Yeah, the first
It
one's pretty
made
good.
a dick ton of money.
Yep.
People still loved it.
Yep.
And it has the same problems that Rampage, Venom, like all these other movies on this list have. It's just shit. It's big budget, big hoopla, big trailer, monsters, robots, whatever. Like, it's got all the same shit, all the same elements, but it's basically supposed to be top tier.
And it's boring. It's
Like
a
the
boring
first
movie.
one, like the first one was. And
Yeah.
it was boring, it was awful, the characters sucked, the jokes sucked.
Yeah, the jokes suck balls.
The chemistry sucked, the acting sucked. Like, I don't know. It was just like
bam, 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 bam.
the lighting guy, not good, you know? The
Just
sound
everyone,
guy, everyone
yeah.
did an awful job on this movie. Yeah,
I
no,
thought you were gonna have the cojones to give worst movie of the year to a movie you haven't even seen.
I know.
And go to watch it. I literally thought that was possible.
I know, and I decided to be mature and not pick a movie I hadn't seen. But yeah, to me, Jurassic World 2 really just was the epitome of it all. Like, supposed to be good, biggest budget. First one was great, and just sequel just awful.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the worst movie of the year to me. Again, I'll acknowledge that some of these movies are technically worse, but just based on all those factors, I'm giving the award
Gotcha.
to Jurassic World 2.
Next category, we're gonna go to the biggest surprise.
Biggest
of the
surprise. Now you're gonna do a good and bad surprise.
Year. No, I'm just gonna do.
You've already got it.
Yeah, I don't have a big bad one honestly, unless I can think of one.
You weren't surprised by like Jurassic World 2? How bad it was?
No, because you think the first one's great. I think the first one's like good. I think it's all right.
Well,
yeah.
when I mean good. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, it was because I don't really give a shit about Jurassic.
Me neither.
Jurassic Park. It was never my thing anyway. So to me, that's what makes the first one great. Is I didn't give a shit about it and it impressed me.
Yeah,
So it was good.
Yeah, it's just not enough to it doesn't stand out to me like these other two do. They're both positive, both positively surprised how much I liked them. Game night. I saw Game Night late in the game night, and
Nice.
basically I enjoyed its creative sense of humor. You know, I enjoyed how awkward and kind of funny it was, and I'm always down for Jason Bateman.
I like Jason Bateman.
I just the comedy worked well in there. They got the guy from New Girl. I don't know his actor's name, but he's in there.
The white guy?
No, he's black. He's
Marlon Wayans?
Is that his name?
He's a Wayans brother.
No, he's not. It's not. It's a different guy. I promise you.
From what's he from?
New Girl. The TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
Yeah, but anyway, he's great in it. I love how they make jokes about glass tables not breaking throughout the movie. What a random thing, and I don't know. That was a little joke that I really got more and more out of.
Yeah.
The plot's kind of all over the place, but they also acknowledge it and they kind of poke fun at it. And I liked how I don't know. I'm always down for Rachel McAdams too. Can't go wrong with that. And
Rachel McAdams.
isn't? Yeah, Rachel McAdams.
I thought it was Jennifer Aniston.
In Game Night. Bro, are you even here?
I haven't seen the movie since it came out in theaters.
Goodness
I
gracious.
saw it immediately.
No, dude.
Oh, it is Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's hot. Yeah.
Anyway,
Why is it? I thought it was the same cast from Horrible Bosses because it's the same producers.
yeah, it's not.
Because isn't it Jason Bateman
Yep.
and Charlie Day?
Nope.
Charlie Day's not in it?
No, bro.
What?
Let me
movie?
finish my thoughts because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you do. You get on that.
Anyway, most straight up comedy movies that come out now suck.
Yes.
In my opinion,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I know a lot of other people don't think that, but
No.
Baywatch isn't good enough.
I think so.
Jumanji isn't good enough.
No.
These movies aren't good enough to me.
They're not.
But this movie was actually funny and was actually enjoyable, and I liked all my time with it, honestly.
Okay.
And then
I'm gonna go.
the one that I
rewatch.
was more surprised by was Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
Again,
Wow.
I didn't give it my best movie, but it's in the top 5
Oh, yeah.
easily,
Mhm.
and it's great. All the characters are great. Miles is great. The story progresses. It's so interesting. I'm so ready to see what happens next. The whole movie just flew by.
Yeah.
There's very little that I have to complain about it, really. We talked about the PG thing.
Yeah.
How we wish we could have seen a little more violence here and there. And, there's a couple of scenes where it's a little too awkward, too uncomfortable for my taste. But overall, I liked all the characters. I love that they have,
What
Nicolas
was-
Cage in there as the noir guy. I loved how he was hilarious. I loved
Yeah.
how there's different animation styles for the different characters. And I love how they have the balls to do some of the things they do in that movie. Dark things with a PG movie.
Yeah. What was awkward and uncomfortable for you in that movie?
There's a couple of interactions where it's like he's a teenager and he's going through puberty, and remember when you were like that and you were awkward and socially like not capable of doing things, and they kind of go a little too far with that.
Yeah, okay.
You know?
Okay.
And like the animation style, it grew on me, but I totally understand if people don't like this movie just because of how bonkers it is. Like it is very much like all over the place.
It is.
But even then, I would say the story is great, and the way the story progresses is great. So that's my biggest surprise of the year.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
So,
You changed up my shit too.
What's your biggest surprise of the year?
Most surprising, I did some good and bad.
Nice.
So, Quiet Place.
Nice.
I didn't want to put it in best movies. I crossed it off just because, like, to me, a best movie is something that I'm willing to watch over again, and I could really care less about seeing Quiet Place again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely most surprising in a good way because I can't stand any kind of horror movie. I don't even really watch thrillers just because I'm afraid they're going to turn into horror.
Yeah.
Like I just don't watch scary movies in any regard. And this movie really wasn't scary at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's not a comedy. It's not really. It's not really a drama or anything like that. It's going to be classified as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's going to be one of the categories of that movie. So anyway. Yeah, that one gets most surprising good for obvious reasons. Just because I was like, man, like I really don't want to go see a scary movie. I don't care if it's got Jim in it. Like, but yeah, it was great. The other most surprising, this one is like all over the place. This is most surprising in a good way and a bad way, and that is Truth or Dare. It was a horror movie that came out, and it covers it all because like it was an awful movie, also a horror movie, so I wasn't excited to see it.
Okay.
But I actually enjoyed it for some reason. Like me and the person I saw it with, we were like tripped out by it. Like the situations in it, like the situations that they had to say Truth or Dare to, were like, wow, like that's really crazy.
Uh-huh.
Like this plot is interesting. They just didn't do a good job of executing the plot. Like it was kind of like poor acting and storytelling because it was kind of a low budget horror movie. So like it was good in that regard where you're like, wow, like it's interesting, but it was also a bad movie. And it was also a horror movie. So yeah, it covered everything for me. It got most surprising good and bad. Rampage. I was surprised how bad that was. Should not have been that bad. Most surprised in a good way. Upgrade. Had no expectations. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know a single actor in the movie. Really interesting premise. So that gets that. Annihilation. I was surprised how bad that was because it had a lot of potential. It kind of had some interesting plots, like some interesting like visuals, like a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And literally nothing happened, and I was so confused, so I was really surprised how bad that was. Jurassic World 2, surprised how bad that was. So the winner for most surprising in a good way, I guess, would have to be Upgrade, because that's the only award it's ever going to win. And then most surprising in a bad way, since Jurassic World already won, yeah, I don't know, I kind of just want to give it to Jurassic World again. So congrats, Jurassic World, 2-time winner.
Just slaughtering the award show.
Yeah, Jurassic World's cleaning up. So most surprising, good and bad, that's me. What's the next category that you have?
Rip-off. This is the
biggest
one that
rip-off
you suggested. This is where, for this category...
This was the only thing I suggested for this episode. Thank you. Thank you. Hold your applause.
For this episode, or for this category, we're going to break down what movie we feel rips off another movie in a sort of obvious way. And, like, to give you an example, like, I don't know, what's like a really like blatantly obvious ripoff?
Just basically,
kind of Bird Box and A Quiet Place, honestly.
I thought that's what you were going to say was your biggest ripoff.
No, it's not.
Wow, I'm really surprised. To me, another example is, I mean, movies still do this to this day.
Yeah.
And that's The Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's not the whole movie that they're ripping, like, that's just, to me, a great example. Like, so many movies have the slow-mo where the guy does the limbo and dodges something. Like, how many movies have done that?
A lot.
Countless. So, to me, that kind of falls in that category. And then another example would be kind of like what I said off-air, the I Feel Pretty and whatever that new movie is with the fat Amy from Pitch Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know where they differ, because I'm sure they do, but basically, I've seen the trailers for both movie. The premises sound exactly the same. Two chicks that are kind of on the heavy side, don't have a ton of self-confidence, get hit in the head, basically, and everything changes.
And another good example...
And they're both rom-coms.
Another good example would be Friends with Benefits and No Strings Attached.
Beautiful example.
Okay, so for this one, again, I didn't write a whole lot of nominees for this category.
Yeah,
or for any category, really. But to me, Aquaman, it is simultaneously a ripoff of Black Panther and Ant-Man 2.
How?
It's a ripoff of Black Panther because it's all about, like, a king, quote-unquote, like, trying to gain his throne and take it from his brother, which is technically like the same thing in Black Panther, and it's all about like this mystical new world that no one has ever discovered, and they try to make you feel really cool about it. But again, it came out in the same year as Black Panther, and then in Ant-Man 2, it's all about spoilers for Aquaman, but it's all about like about the mom and about getting the mom back.
Yeah.
And Aquaman is about getting the mom back, and she's lost in this weird world that no one can get to, and then they're able to get to it. And
they get her.
They both find her, and they both get her. And in both movies, the mom is wearing like the animals that she's killed.
Yeah.
Somehow over the last, I think the same amount of time, like 30 or 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, this mom has survived.
Wow.
And
I think we've talked about this too.
And the two actresses look the same too, and it's like they're both like blonde, and they're both the same, roughly
with
the
gray
same
and
age.
hair.
And it just looks it's
No, that is
too much.
beautiful. That is beautiful. That's why you're the brains and the legs of the show, because that is exactly what they are, exact ripoffs. And I remember saying that about the whole mom thing after seeing the movie. I think the person I saw the movie with, we both said the same thing, and then I think you and I talked about it, said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, direct copies of Black Panther and Ant-Man. And I wonder, how that went down. Like,
these movies are in production so early that
there's really no telling.
They probably didn't
But do you think
copy it, but it is just,
it's the same.
It's the same, and it's in the same year. They
Yeah.
copied two movies in the same year, in the same genre.
And do you think that's what I want to know, like, do you think whenever, I'm assuming the Aquaman people saw Black Panther and Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
And do you think when they saw the movies they were like, fuck.
With Black Man, or
Nice.
with Black Panther, I'd love for them to do a crossover with like Black Panther and Ant-Man. I just call it Black Man. Like, anyway,
wow, beautiful.
I think it'd be funny. And but in Black Panther, I think that they saw Black Panther and they were like, wow, everyone loves Wakanda and loves the way that they show Wakanda, and Wakanda's this really cool like foreign land, and there's all these like mystical and like supernatural things. I think they saw that and were like, all right, now when we do Atlantis, we need to do it in the same style. Because they're even done in the same style. They're even like revealed in the same way, kind of like.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That to me is one of the rip-off ones. Another one is a movie you didn't see was Bumblebee.
Rip off of what?
Again, simultaneously, it's a rip-off of The Iron Giant and E.T. Because
Shocker.
It's about an alien that comes there that can't really speak, and it's like this young teen kid, whatever, looking after it, and they're like just a fish out of water situation, and the kid doesn't really fit in, but now they have this friend, and they're like friends with each other, and they like help each other out, and the government comes to take them away because they don't want them. It's a ripoff.
Yeah.
In that sense, and I don't know which one it's more of a ripoff of, because it's a really big ripoff of E.T.'s plot, but then in Iron Giant, it's almost the exact same movie because it's
an Iron Giant.
It's just a big robot.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't fit in, and they're lost from their kind or whatever.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's so beautiful. And I have a question for you. I guess I'm probably drifting off here. Hopefully my sound didn't drift off too bad. So I have a question for you. The Wakanda thing. So we rewatched Civil War recently.
Okay.
And, like, in Civil War, Wakanda just seems like another place in Africa.
Uh-huh.
But then now it's like this hidden land that you have to have the longitude and latitude to, and you like fly into it without even knowing, like the place in Wonder Woman world.
Yeah.
Why is that?
What do you mean?
Like, why in Civil War they make it seem like it's just literally just a place. They're like, oh, here's the Wakandan leader. Yeah, Wakanda, Africa. Like, this is it, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's super cash. Like, everyone knows about it. They're talking about it on the news.
Because I think that's sort of because the Avengers don't know about it. So no one knows about it besides the people in Wakanda. So
that's what I'm saying. In Civil War, everybody knows about it.
No one knows about it.
They're talking about it on the news.
But they're not talking about like the secret land or whatever. Like the
Who were they? Then how do they know about the Wakanda leader if it's a secret land?
Because they assume he's the leader of like the real city in like real life. Not
So there
this, not
is
this hidden one. You
So
know?
there is a real one and a hidden one.
Yeah, like
okay.
it's all a front. You know.
They have a front city,
Yeah, basically, it's like.
but
wow,
then
this
they've
is
got
like-
Wakanda.
Yeah.
They got it in the back.
But I think that was always the plan, just because in the second Avengers movie they make a big deal about the Claw guy, and by Andy Serkis, the guy Andy Serkis plays him. He's got all that vibranium,
Okay.
and they're like, "How did you get this?" And and then they tell him later in Black Panther, like he's the only one to ever go there and leave, like get in there, steal it, and leave. Like he's the only one that knows about it. So I think even then they knew they were gonna make it like a secret city.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give it to Aquaman just for being.
So
Because Bumblebee's a big deal.
It was
but-
Aquaman and Bumblebee. Those are the only
Yeah.
two.
and I'm only giving it to Aquaman because I think it's a worse movie. So like to me, if you're gonna rip off
Aquaman was worse than Bumblebee.
yeah, both those movies rip off two other movies.
Yeah.
and they're both not that great. I still think they're still all right, I guess. Both.
But
of
you
them.
liked Bumblebee better.
Bumblebee is better than Aquaman.
Wow.
Bumblebee's better than Aquaman.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's stuff that in Bumblebee is not that great, but I don't really think Aquaman's that great either.
It's not. Wow. I'm blown away. You were blown. I told you this was going to be a good episode. I tried telling you it was going to be a good episode.
All right, so what's your ripoff? 2018
So
ripoff.
I had a really hard time coming up with this one, but you made some great points. But again, I'm not going to take your points but those were excellent points. Yeah, Aquaman and Bumblebee being huge ripoffs, because I didn't even have to see Bumblebee, and I could totally see how it would rip off when you obviously explain the plot too, like how it does that. So that's insane to me. What I wrote down was Creed 2.
Okay.
Just because I don't know, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just me or if it's Creed's fault or if it's my fault. I don't know. But like Creed 1, it's still a boxing movie. You generally know what's going to happen in almost any boxing movie. And you pretty much know what's going to happen in any Rocky movie. And this was that, Creed 1. But they somehow made it good. Like, they did it different, but still paid homage to boxing and Rocky movies. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it was Michael B. Jordan for the first time, and now that it's a sequel, you're like, well, how are they going to make it different this time?
Yeah,
and then you
been
watch
there, seen that.
it's like, how are they going to make it different this time? Like, what are they going to build on? But it's just another boxing movie. So, to me, it was just a ripoff of all boxing movies and the Rocky series. And the reason why I know it's a sequel, I know it's part of the same franchise, but the reason I think it's a ripoff is because it's only the second movie and they're already got him avenging people. Like, it's always about avenge and revenge. Like, I'd much rather have seen his climb right after Creed 1 because it skips ahead. He in Creed 1 he loses to the champ, and then in Creed 2 he is the champ. It just fast forwards to him already being the champ, and now he's going to defend his title, and he's defending his title against the son of the guy that killed his dad. I don't know. I just hate that. Like, to me, they just it's like you coming early. Like, you just get so excited you come early. Like, they just blew their load. They're just like, hey, let's copy Rocky 4 for Creed 2. I don't know. I was pissed. I was so disappointed because I generally, even though I know boxing movies are generally all the same, I like boxing movies. And I guess I haven't really seen Warrior. So yeah, I like boxing movies. So I was just really disappointed. So I called it a ripoff. I threw Bird Box in there because based on what I've heard, it sounds like a big ripoff, but I haven't seen it. So another movie I haven't seen that made the list, but I saw it on the list and I was like, that definitely, because I was struggling to fill in this category.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't smart enough to put together Aquaman and I didn't see Bumblebee. And then Spy Who Dumped Me.
Okay.
I put that in there just because literally in the title, like, it's copying Austin Powers.
Okay.
Spy Who Shagged Me, and then obviously Austin Powers is a spoof of James Bond, like that kind of thing.
So
that's
copy of a copy. Did you see that movie?
what
The Spy Who
exactly. I didn't see it, so that's why I can't pick it. But like, you can tell by the trailer, you can tell by the title. It's like, man, like, you're making a rom-com about a movie about a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, come
Move
on.
on,
Yeah. So I put that in there. And the other one I put in there was Tomb Raider, because to me it's a ripoff of the video games, Uncharted, and like national treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna give it to Creed 2 though,
All right, nice.
just because it pissed me off the most, and I had higher expectations for it.
Okay, moving on. We're gonna go to the movie we forgot we saw.
Oh, I got a
So
lot
the
of
most
those.
forgettable movie. I only have one.
Wow, go ahead.
Star Wars, Solo, whatever. A
Solo,
story.
yeah, I almost put that in there. Yep, I think I did. Oh,
that
wait,
movie
no,
is
yep.
so dang forgettable in
Uh-huh.
two ways. One, I forgot it came out this year. Two, I forget everything that happened in that movie. The only thing I remember is literally the only thing I remember of that movie is there's something about the dice. His girlfriend betrays him, works with Darth Maul.
Yep,
That's about it.
Yep.
Lando's into robots. That's like all I remember.
sex with robots.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they play that poker game. But I don't
Poker.
remember anything about the plot, anything about it. It
No,
was
that's
just
the
so-
plot. That's the movie.
It's so forgettable. It was just so forgettable.
Yep.
I was like, because the notion going into that movie is, why do we need it? Who cares? And
Yeah.
I left it going, why did we need that? Who cares?
Yeah, we did not need it.
Like I'm all
Yeah.
down. I'm down for some more Darth Maul, but find a if you're gonna just shoehorn him in there, like
Do it better.
do it in a better movie or give him his own movie and just say, well, who cares about like if this makes sense or not? You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah, he
did
should
not.
be dead. Like,
No, I did not need Solo. So you forgot you saw it. What else?
that's it. That's my movie. That's my winner. That's all I got to say about it. It's just forgettable.
Solo.
Which is a shame because a Star Wars movie should never be forgettable.
So I had a lot of movies on this list because so much time has passed, and I don't know. Like it just feels like forever because I haven't gone to the theaters a lot recently since I've moved here.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of rare that I go see a movie now because I was seeing them so frequently.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost forgot everything I saw. Like I forgot everything that came out this year. So I had this problem for a lot of movies. So I had Black Panther,
Okay.
and the reason why I forget that is because I feel like it's been on Netflix for a minute, and it came out in February. So that's it's been almost a year. So
Yeah.
I just forgot that. I was like, oh yeah, that did come out. This past 2018. Mission Impossible Fallout. Totally forgot about it. Like I just totally forgot about that movie. Like it fell off the face of the earth. I just hadn't thought about it. So I just forgot that. I was like, damn, like I saw that movie and I liked it. I had it
You had in your best category.
I had it in the best category, but I had it in the forgot category first, and then I was like, "Damn, I should put that in the best category too." So forgot Fallout, forgot Ready Player One. I forgot that came out this year because that was
Wow.
another early movie
Yeah.
that I also I really enjoyed. Turns out I've had it this whole time. I finally found it.
Wow, really?
It was in like a case for another movie.
Nice.
So yeah, I have Ready Player One. So I forgot about that one. Tag. Totally forgot about Tag. I saw it, but I fell asleep during it.
That helps.
Yeah, so totally forgot about Super Troopers 2.
Nice.
Totally
Nice.
forgot about that one as well. Forgot most of it too. Don't really remember much about it. I remember it was
Nice.
kind of funny. Wouldn't mind seeing it again. Deadpool 2.
Wow.
Totally forgot that it came out this year.
Yep.
Forgot about Deadpool 2 hard.
The only thing I remember about that movie is the post-credit scene.
Yep, exactly. I think I saw it twice, so I remember most of it.
Yeah, nice.
Upgrade, which was mentioned in Most Surprisingly Good. Totally forgot about that movie. That was a random movie, and it feels like I saw it ages ago. I can't believe it came out in 2018.
You got a lot of nominees here.
Yep, and then I think it's last here. Last one is Game Night. Totally forgot about Game Night. Another movie that I think came out early in 2018. And I saw it like immediately because in the time of year that it came out, nothing was out. And I was like, a comedy with Jason Bateman and Rachel. Oh, I got to go see this.
Yeah.
Producers Are Horrible Bosses. Like, I love those movies. So, yeah, I went and saw Game Night. Totally forgot about it.
So you took like forget as in literally forget. I took forget as in I nothing it so much. Like I just it came and went out of my life. And like mine was more of a negative connotation, but yours is just a straight up like,
Forgot it.
Yeah.
I just forgot it. And it will, because especially if I liked it, too. It's like, how did I forget you if I
Yeah.
liked you?
Okay, so what are you gonna give it to?
Well, I think in terms of... Oh, man. Yeah, in terms of covering all bases, I would have to give it to Game Night because I literally remember nothing about the movie
Wow.
except me thinking it was pretty funny, it was different, and the plot didn't make any sense. And then they acknowledged it at the end, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So they acknowledged that
Yeah.
and that kind of pissed me off too. That kind of pissed me off because I was like,
If you think
I'm like trying to make sense of it the whole movie,
Yeah.
and then they're just like, "Well, this doesn't make any fucking sense." I was like, "You lazy fucks!" Like, You really like did all this complicated shit just to go, well, it doesn't make sense. It's a fucking movie. Like, so it's funny now, but when I saw the movie, I'm like, come on. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to that just because. Yeah.
Okay, so
I can't give it a tag.
We'll go to the movies we wanted to see, the movies we didn't get to see, but we wanted to.
Did I make that list? Oh, yep, I did. Okay.
There's surprising ones on here. Won't You Be My Neighbor was a documentary about Mr. Rogers.
And you wanted to see that?
I wanted to see that. I mean, I kind
of want to see it.
I didn't want to go see it in theaters. You know, it's not really a spectacle or like.
I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah, let me get it in IMAX or 3D. You know, but I wanted to see it because it got great reviews and it just seemed like an interesting concept. Like I don't know much about him either, so it'd be interesting to learn.
Yeah.
I was gonna put Bohemian Rhapsody on it, but again, I don't really care. I'm sure it's good, but I just don't know if I care enough about the artist.
No.
So I didn't put that one on there. I put Vice on there strictly just because of Christian Bale's performance, which I was very intrigued by and wanted to see. But again, I don't know a whole lot about that situation, so I didn't end up seeing it.
That's the other reason why I have it on my list as well. And I agree with everything that you just said. Want to see it because of Christian Bale. He looks ridiculous. His performance. I want to see it all. Also directed by Adam McKay. And I actually enjoyed The Big Short, and I learned a lot about that situation. So I definitely want to learn about this situation, and I feel like that movie would do that, but in a fun and entertaining way, kind of like they did in The Big Short. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed it.
And the winner for me for most movie I wanted to see the most was Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Wow.
The first one is actually a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like for all the it's Disney and Pixar. Yeah, it is Disney. Is it Disney?
I believe it's Pixar.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of hype behind like things like Frozen and Toy Story and there are other Incredibles, other big like Disney and Pixar franchises like that people really like, and this movie just sort of goes under the radar because it's
not those things.
It's not those things, but the first one is actually really good and actually has a really good twist in it for a children's movie. Like I didn't see a twist coming in this children's movie, which was awesome. And
I gotta see him.
And I thought it was a really good story. And I'm not like the most heartless person in the world, but I also enjoy it when a movie doesn't have to shoehorn in like I'm saying shoehorn a lot. Shoehorn in like a romantic aspect for no reason, which is another thing I appreciated about.
And it didn't do that.
Yeah, another thing I appreciate about Spider-Man that I didn't get to say.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, Spider-Verse. It didn't like throw in unnecessary. Like you can see there's something there between like
him and Gwen,
but it's also just. They didn't force it in there, and they already had some with Peter Parker and Mary Jane anyway.
Yep.
And I just liked how that wasn't really, they didn't really muddle the message. It really was just about Miles and, like, his dad, basically.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that, and, yeah, the movie just looked good. Ralph just looked really awesome. There's a scene with, like, in the trailer with, like, all those Disney princesses, and they're all, like, making very self-aware jokes at, like, the expense of, like, all the stereotypes, I guess. And
they do this in Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, it's like in the trailer, and it just looks really fun and really cool. And I like how what's his name? Not Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly. I just like how John C. Reilly is like an animated character.
Oh, he is Ralph.
He is Ralph, yeah, and he does it well too.
Of course, and he's good.
Yeah, they have that great thing where the villains go to like a video game meeting. And I'm hoping that's in that movie, because I will see it eventually.
Yeah.
Like, of all the movies in my wanted category, it's the one I'm probably going to see first. And I might not even see the other ones.
Yeah, see, I was kind of shrugging it off. Like, we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, yeah, I really want to see that. And then, like, some time passed, and I was like, yeah, I don't really care. Mm. Now I want to see it again. So, yeah, I need to get on it. I keep forgetting. I didn't realize John C. Reilly was Ralph. I think I knew that back when the movie first came out.
Yeah.
And then just totally forgot. Mm. And then I do want to give a quick shout out to Spider-Verse because I think it's a great movie, and I do want to acknowledge that I don't think I have it anywhere on these lists because I had a hard time fitting it into any category. Yeah. It should have gone under most surprising good, but I didn't even want to put it there because I really wasn't surprised. I expected it to be good.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it how they executed it. I didn't know what to expect in terms of the execution. I knew it was going to be different, so I just didn't know how it was going to be different. But I assumed it was going to be good because I hadn't heard anything bad about it, and I love Spider-Man. So I couldn't put it in the category, so since I couldn't put it in the category, I wanted to give it a shout-out. So, yeah. And now what category are we on?
Where I'm wanted still.
You wanted to see.
Which one you wanted to see.
And you said Wreck-It Ralph. Okay, so Wreck-It Ralph 2 breaks the internet because you saw the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. So one we wish we saw, I had Vice, like I said. I wanted to see Fantastic Beasts 2. The reason why I wanted to see it is so that I could finally have an opinion on it. I want to have a legitimate opinion on this movie. I'm tired of hearing other people's opinion. I'm tired of these kinds of movies. So I want to see it just so I can say what I have to say about it. So yeah, that made the list. Black Klansman. I wanted to see that because it looked really interesting. So I put that on there. I wanted to see The Meg. So I put that on there. Gotti.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to see. I don't want to watch it, but I want to see it.
Nice.
You know, like
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's gonna be one of those movies where I'm definitely playing 2K during it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh man, Sunday morning, let me set some time aside and watch Gotti.
Wake up early before work.
I'm gonna wake up and get this movie taken care of. So yeah, I got Vice, Fantastic Beasts, Black Klansman, Gotti, Meg, and then the Dragon Ball movie.
I should have put that. Yeah.
Want to see that? Widows. I wanted to see that.
Dragon Ball movie is technically a 2019 movie.
Really?
Yeah, it just came out.
Oh, okay. Well, then take Dragon Ball off. Widows. Wanted to see that. And then Mile 22, Mark Wahlberg movie, his action movie that came out this year. Reviews looked bad, and still want to see it because I want to see how bad it is. Like why is it bad?
I'm curious. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. Because I wanted to see it anyway because it was an action movie with Mark Wahlberg, and then I saw it was bad, and I was like, well, I still want to see it. I want to see what went wrong. I think the winner is going to be Vice.
Okay.
Because I legitimately want to see it for positive reasons. I could live without seeing Fantastic Beasts, but it's definitely second in that category.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned not wanting to hear about Fantastic Beasts anymore or any opinions on it.
Yeah.
Because now we move on to the decent category.
Most decent.
The movie that is most decent this year is... Well, I'm going to give you some honorable mentions first.
Yeah, do that.
Fantastic Beasts.
Is an honorable... Are you just going to name
I'm going to name all the nominees, and then I'll tell you which one.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic Beasts, Venom, Aquaman, Jurassic World 2. All movies we talked about. Fantastic Beasts we haven't talked about, so I'll just keep it, real quick. It's just so, I don't care about Harry Potter a whole lot. I didn't read the books.
Nope.
I don't want to read the books.
I can't read.
But I feel like I have to, just because every person's like, we haven't read it? You gotta read it. And I'm like, I'm sure it's the same gist of the movie, dude. I know what's happening. I know what's gonna happen.
Dude, and it's it's not 5,000 pages, but it's got to be damn close. It's thousands of pages.
Yeah.
A couple hundred pages, a few hundred pages per book.
And there's 8 books. Yeah, I'm not going to read that.
So
anyway, it's... I don't care about the universe. I don't care about the world of Harry Potter. So I don't have as much problems with apparently stuff that's weird about it.
Yeah.
They do... Spoilers for it. They do make, Dumbledore gay. And Johnny Depp is also gay.
Of course.
Johnny Depp's character is gay for Dumbledore's character.
That's hot.
So Grindelwald and Dumbledore are gay for each other, basically.
That's so hot.
And
now I really want to see it.
It's weird. I wonder if you... Because I left the theater and I was like... So
you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it with someone and I was like, what'd you think about them being gay? And they were like, they weren't gay. And I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. But I really felt like that was heavily implied there. Because they do this thing where it's called a blood oath. Where I can't fight you, you can't fight me. It basically means we care about each other. I'm never gonna go against you, basically.
Okay.
And that's why they're like, Dumbledore, you got to stop Grindelwald. And he's like, I can't. And they're like, why? And another stupid thing about the movie, he didn't just say it, but he hints at it, and then it's revealed that they're embracing each other and making this thing. I'm like, they're gay. This is almost
they're gay.
Yeah, I was like, this is almost a scene out of Ghosts, or they spoof in Naked Gun where they're making the pottery.
Yeah.
It's almost like that. I'm like, they're gay. Come on.
Yeah, come on. It's
And
just the gays.
but it's interesting that they have a blood oath. That's an interesting thing there. And
So one's good, one's evil, but they can't go against each other.
yeah, because they were friends at one point,
Yeah.
basically. And I don't mind the guy playing. I don't mind any of the actors or any of their performances, but I don't really think there was anything funny in the movie, and I don't really think there was anything truly the action isn't really that great either, and I don't really think the rules make any sense to me. I don't understand how they have people trapped in things, and I don't understand how if you have a wand and you can just teleport all over the place, because they do it all the time. I don't understand why you can't just do that, and get out of these traps. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, it's just so average, so average.
It looked average.
Venom, obviously, I was really negative. I was more positive. Then we watched it a second time, and I realized like I might have been too hard on it, something like that. But it is really an average movie. Like there's nothing about it that's
it's very average.
stands out. Like, and it's a weirdly average movie because I feel like there are terrible parts in it. There are great parts in it, mainly the stuff with Venom and his like characterization and the action scenes with him. And then there's stuff that's just meh. So it all evens out to like a flat line of just average.
Mm-hmm.
Aquaman, it's not going to get it. I'll tell you right now. I don't know. I go back and forth on it all the time, but
It's good, not great.
it's a better movie than it is worse. Like there are things about it that I like. Like it's one of those things where I can't. Took your line again. I can't say I
Have
love
I been
it.
saying
I
it?
can't say no. You haven't said it in the last like 3 episodes.
That's been tough.
I know. I'm proud of you. Anyway, I can't say I like or hate any part, or I love or hate any really part of the movie, honestly. And I would expect myself to really enjoy something about the movie, but I really don't. It's just sort of there. Jurassic World 2, you nailed it.
I've been all over that movie.
It's so average and it's just so boring and like nothing happens and the plot doesn't matter. I don't care about the girl and she doesn't make any sense. Why is there clones and dinosaurs? How is it a Jurassic World if there's only 7 dinosaurs free and they can't mate with other dinosaurs? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. But
It's
actually,
Jurassic World.
yeah, we're in the age of Jurassic World and I'm like, there's 5 dinosaurs.
Thank you, Jeff Goldblum.
Surely we could just assassinate them all.
Yeah.
But, and they all should have trackers in them anyway, so that shouldn't be hard either. So I don't really get it where you go for the sequel with that. I don't really like that movie to begin with. But even that movie, I feel like is more bad than good. So I can't give it the decent award either.
Yep.
So it comes down to Fantastic Beasts or Venom.
Whoa.
Yeah. Of which movie is more decent?
Most decent. Now, decent can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
My interpretation on this show is decent is just, it is so down the middle. It's 50% good, 50% bad. You're just like, wow, decent. Didn't hate it. Definitely didn't like it.
I always think like
Didn't hate it,
if
though.
I'm walking into someone's apartment or we're going to like the Chili's or something, and someone's like, "Hey, Venom's on that TV," I don't even look, because I don't even want to. Like, I don't even want to see. Like, I'm not even interested at all. Like, I'm just like, "Oh, okay,"
Yeah.
Like, if I'm flipping through channels and Venom's on, I'm like, "Oh, Venom's on," and like I'll just.
Yeah, you're just like, I mean, like, literally, if you had nothing else to watch, like, it would make the cut. Maybe it'd be in the mix of the other things that's on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if anything else is on TV, you're like, yeah. Women's soccer, definitely.
To me, the most decent, the most decent movie of the year is Fantastic Beasts.
Wow.
It's
the only award it's won.
Yep, and it's a big one. It's the
It's
granddaddy of them all.
It's the pivoted award here on the Decent Show.
I just, I want to give it to Venom because it's also extremely average, but I still think that movie is just a hair over average, like the smallest amount over average, because of how great or really good. I'll say really good.
Yeah, go. Yeah, be careful.
How really good that middle section of the movie is.
Yeah,
where
it's good middle section.
He first becomes Venom and he starts to like develop his powers. It's cool stuff. Like I can't knock it for that. And the faults of the movie don't bring it down enough to put it right there in that average. Fantastic Beasts is so bland, so boring.
Yep.
It goes so fast and simultaneously so slow. Like it feels really long and giggity. And they also
Nice.
just they explain things that I want explained more because it's magic and I don't understand it so fast that I can't follow it, and the plot just is not good.
Not
so
good.
that's the most decent movie to me. What's your pick?
Most decent, Fantastic Beasts. Wow, I wish I would have saw it. I didn't see the movie that won the biggest award on this show. It's
Exactly.
crazy. My nominees for most decent are The Mule.
Oh wow.
Very average. Oh man. Honestly, wow. This is gonna be a tough one. I put Aquaman in there.
Okay.
Kind of like you said, it's not gonna get it.
Yeah.
But It was very average, but the hot chick saved it for me. The fact that other DC movies are so bad in comparison, it elevates it.
And Jason Momoa is, he's pretty good.
He is Aquaman. Solo.
Nice.
Solo made it in there for me. Super, super decent. Very average. Yeah. And then Deadpool 2. Also, I think, looks like, my
Wow,
handwriting is so
nice.
bad. Deadpool 2 made it in there for me just because... it's not going to win it just because it is better than decent. Like, it's pretty good. But to me, the first one was so good, and the second one should have built on it. And to me, it took a step back.
Yeah.
So if you take a step back on the sequel, to me, that makes it decent.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, yeah, I mean, it was Deadpool, so, like, that's good. But the movie wasn't good, so that makes it decent. But again, probably not going to win. And then Ocean's 8.
Nice.
So decent. Just great cast, like just ton of chicks that are like solid actresses. Like I have nothing bad or sexist to say about any of them. Like they were, like you know what I mean. Like they're fine. I have no problem with them.
Yeah.
I have no problem with the women in the movie. I don't want this to be a sexist thing.
Pretty much all of them are in movies I like.
Yeah,
One way or another.
yeah, they're fine. Again, nothing wrong with them. To me, the Ocean franchise as a whole is like a high, like I don't even know if it's that popular of a franchise really, but like it's a franchise that exists, that is known for having big name actors, that puts out movies to me that really aren't that good. They're very decent movies considering the talent of cast in all 4 of the movies. So between those, like it's down to Mule and Ocean's 8. To me, they're the most decent, just because Mule, I was like intrigued. But it was really boring and really slow, and it's a Clint Eastwood movie. He's 90, and he's literally 90. He's 90 in the movie and in real life. It's ridiculous. The fact that he's directing and acting at the same time is amazing. But he's also directing and acting in a movie that requires very little of him.
Yeah.
It's a lot of standing, sitting, and going, yeah, well, I've been around the world. You know, however he talks. So, I want to give it to Ocean's 8.
Okay.
I don't want to give it to The Mule. Just because Ocean's 8, people liked it, people hated it, and then other people were like, eh, and that's where I was at. Like, this movie is the most decent as a movie can get, especially with that much cast. It's just so boring and just uneventful, and then the stupid shit where, like, there's a big reveal and twist at the end, but they do it off camera, and they're like, guess what? And you're like, I had no idea that happened. You just did it off camera and then told me that you did it off camera. There's no way of knowing that. And even if I did, like, it doesn't add anything. So you got more money than we thought you were going to get. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You got $100 million instead of $50 million. What does that do for me? I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to have $1 million. Like, it doesn't matter. And they do it off screen, and they don't tell you about it. And they act like it's a big surprise. Mm-hmm. And then they even don't tell the crew about it. Like, they don't tell their own crew. Like, 3 of them just did it on their own.
Yeah.
And didn't tell their own crew that, hey man, like we're gonna get some extra money.
Yeah.
Don't want to tell you though, it's a surprise. Stupid.
Well,
most decent.
That's a solid point. There you go. The biggest award of the year has been given. Each of us chose 2 different movies. We're going to end the show today with sort of predictions for the next year. We're going to go best, worst, and most decent movie you think 2019 will have.
Oh, goodness.
I'll let you lead this one
No,
off.
please don't.
Oh, all right. I'll let myself lead this one off.
Yeah, I don't have it. All
right. Well, I'm going to go with best movie. I threw in Avengers. But to be honest with you, I don't know if it'll be the best movie of next year, just because there's so much hype, and they've had such a good run, and the last one was so good.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how you follow up a 10 with another 10, you know? Can you think of a franchise that has, you know, a sequel and then another sequel, and they're both, you know, really, 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 really good?
No, but I think they have the potential to be the first to do it.
Exactly. Well, I guess Star Wars as well. Star Wars
does it. Does Harry? I mean, would you count Harry Potter? Maybe not in our opinion, but I mean Harry Potter.
Okay, yeah.
Not the.
But it's still really rare. You know, you have stuff like Back to the Future 2 and 3 aren't nearly as good as the first one.
Yeah.
And you know, even Jurassic Park doesn't have nearly as good stuff. So I'm thinking that's going to be an outside shot at the best movie. I think it'll still be in the honorable mentions of the best movie next year, I still think I'll like it a lot, probably love it, but I don't think
Endgame, right?
Yeah, Endgame. I don't think it'll be the best movie of the year. I'm gonna say this is gonna shock you. I think Star Wars Episode 9 is gonna be the best movie
Of the year?
I think
it's
it's
coming out
got a-
2019.
Yeah, I think it's got a real shot. Mainly
Wow.
because I think that I liked the last one, which I realize is not a shared opinion in this apartment, but I really liked
What?
the last one.
Last Jedi?
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it.
I mean,
just
but
got
I,
beat.
like, I really like it.
Oh, yeah.
I dig it, But a lot of people didn't like it, or, a good amount of people didn't like it. And I feel like they're gonna be like that mindset of we're the underdog. People are less hyped about Star Wars, especially with like shitty games coming out, like Battlefront and Solo being such a meh. They want to really knock it out of the park, so people like love Star Wars again and
Yeah.
like, think about it a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that movie's got a shot. And just watching the trailer and just knowing what
There's already a trailer.
let me get to it. And just watching the trailer for this movie and for like just the cast that's in it, I'm gonna say Spider-Man: Far From Home. Also a great shot at being the best movie of 2019.
Oh God, I just can't. I can't believe I forgot about that movie.
And it's like confusing because why wouldn't I pick Avengers? Because Avengers is like the same studio and it's the same thing. But I think the expectations are so high. I just kind of think it's not going to be able to live up to all of them, and that's why it's going to probably take a slight, like just the slightest amount behind Spider-Man because the expectations are high for Spider-Man, but they're not as high, and they can probably be surpassed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Easier, I mean, it's going to be hard for our expectations to be surpassed by the fourth Avengers movie, So I'm going to go with that for my best movie. Wow. Do you have a best movie yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've helped me out a lot. So mine's pretty easy thanks to you. Because I was going to say Avengers. I was going to default to Avengers.
Yeah.
But
That's another thing. I don't want to pick Avengers because I think it's a boring thing. I want to try to think a little bit outside the box.
No, of course. Yeah. And that's why I wouldn't pick Avengers, but I just have to give it its respects.
Yeah.
I will acknowledge that Avengers will probably be the best, do the best, or it has the best chance to do that. I didn't even realize that Star Wars Episode 9 was coming out this year, but I guess I should have known that because they've been releasing one every year. It's just, I guess they're doing it kind of at different times, and they kind of did like the back-to-back thing with
Solo
and what was before Solo?
Last Jedi.
Yeah, so they did Last Jedi and Solo like within kind of 6 months of each other.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to be getting...
Episode 9.
Episode 9. So yeah, I think Episode 9 could be epic. I'm definitely excited for it. I'm not as excited for it anymore just because of the direction that they're taking the franchise in with all the fuel stuff. I got fuel beef.
Oh my god.
And they keep building up this fuel in Solo, so that's my beef. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't know. People probably think I'm an idiot. They're like, "Whoa, what do you expect these ships to run on?" I don't fucking know, but they didn't mention it
We'll talk
for
about
7 movies.
We'll save it for. We'll have a Star Wars episode. All right.
We
save
should.
it for that episode. Save all your ammo and fuel. You're gonna need it.
Jeez, I'm going to do some research, get some salt, make sure my opinions are in order. But so yeah, I acknowledge Episode 9 should be great as well. But I'm gonna have to give it to Spider-Man.
Okay.
Just because sucker for Spider-Man, and that trailer like blew me away.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest. A lot of people like Homecoming more than I liked Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not jumping hoops, and I'm not super crazy about Homecoming.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I like Michael Keaton. I like the twist. I like Ned. But there's just something. There's something about it. Maybe it's because he didn't do enough Spider-Man, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I'm really high on it, so I don't know what
I'm
to tell
high
you.
on it. Yeah, maybe I'm just too high on it. Maybe I need to watch it again. But yeah, there's a couple things missing, but I don't know from Homecoming. But I can't really think of what they are, so I shouldn't bother because I'll just make a fool of myself. But yeah, I'm definitely putting Spider-Man there.
Okay,
That's
so
my shit.
here's where it gets interesting. We're gonna give our worst movie of 2019. What are
Okay.
we thinking the worst movie is gonna be? I got 3 nominees for it.
I'm gonna have to probably milk off of yours here.
Joker, the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, you think so?
I mean, I just think it has so much potential to be a bad movie just because DC is very miss and hit sometimes. Like
Yeah.
they rarely really knock it out of the park. Even when they have a movie like Aquaman where like it's liked more than others, it's only liked a little bit,
Yeah.
And they're taking the Joker and they're putting him without Batman, which is uninteresting.
Yeah.
or it's not as interesting. And they're doing it in the 80s for some reason. And Scorsese's attached, but he's only producing. And to me,
So it's like...
and to me, if it was a good idea, why wouldn't he be directing? Or if
Exactly.
he liked it or he cared about it, why wouldn't he be directing?
Exactly.
That kind of bothers me.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the way he looks either. He looks like a circus clown kind of. And I get he's a clown, but his design doesn't thrill me either.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the direction it looks like it's going. But who knows? It could be the best movie of the year. Like this is just
Wow,
a random.
there's a
shot in the
lot
dark.
of stuff coming out in 2019.
Yeah, it's going to be a hyped year. The other two are going to be just obvious. Like Kingsman 3 is supposed to come out in 2019. Who knows if it is?
Wow.
I saw the second one, The Golden Circle, and I was
Did that
like,
come out 2018?
2017, and I was like, oh, that movie's all right. And then as I think about it, I'm like, that movie's bad. That movie was bad.
It was bad.
And the first one is pretty good.
First one's great.
And I don't understand why it's so much worse. And it just made me lose all faith in it. I'm like, yeah, that third one, I don't even want to see it. I'm probably going to see it and get suckered in by a trailer or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to work. And then Jumanji 2. They're also supposed to come out with
wow.
Jumanji 2 in 2019.
Oh,
That's going to be another
God.
one of those movies that is it's just sort of suckling at the Star Wars teat because like Star Wars is going to come out in December
Yeah.
and no one's going to want to touch it with like a big blockbuster or anything. So they're going to have this little comedy come in that like people are like, oh, well, Star Wars is sold out, so let's go see Jumanji 2. Oh, Jumanji 2 was great. I was like, no, it's not. Jumanji wasn't great at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And especially because I don't know if they're going to have The Rock or Kevin Hart back. They might just do the same concept with different actors. So I'm like, you're going to have a hard time finding two people
More likable.
more likable in a
bad movie.
Yeah, exactly. And so that to me is going to be the worst movie of the year.
Wow. Is Jumanji 2?
I would put money on Jumanji 2 over those other ones, but I think the other ones are highly likely.
Wow.
Do you have a worst movie of the 2019?
Maybe. Kingsman 3 is going to get a shout out. Pikachu movie is going to get a shout out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog is going to get a shout out.
Wow. Yep. That one's
Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 is not going to be horrible.
Yeah, I know. Jumanji 2, though, I definitely agree with all of that, especially if they don't know. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. There's so much coming out. Like, obviously, some of the stuff I've mentioned is... some of the stuff you mentioned, some of the stuff I mentioned is pretty cool. Untitled Terminator Project with Arnie.
Terrible.
I could put that in the worst category for sure.
Yeah.
I would definitely on board to put that there. There's going to be a Charlie's Angel movie.
That's going to be terrible as well.
And then there's going to be a... Like, do you already know about some of these that I'm listing?
Well, the thing about some of the things you're listing is, like, we don't know, you know.
We
all
don't
these
know.
movies could... You know, they've had James Cameron's, like, second Avatar sequel on the docks for... like the last 5 or 6 years because people keep saying it's coming, and it keeps getting delayed or something happens or scheduling or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, probably half the movies we're listing won't come out this year. But we're just
Wow.
trying. That's the thing. We're just taking a shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark. I mean, I see the Joker one on here. Another interesting one I see on here is Zombieland 2.
Yeah.
Angry Birds 2. That's going to get a
Yep.
shout out for the worst.
Yep.
And then there was another one I saw here. Oh, there's going to be It Chapter 2, but I'm not going to say that's going to be a bad one. Where was it? No, New Mutants.
Okay.
New Mutants, I'll give that a shout out for worst. Now, this movie is something that I am anticipating that I would like to see. I know this isn't the category that we're on, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't realize this was directed by Tarantino,
Yep.
which kind of almost ruins it for me because I'm not a
Huge Tarantino.
huge Tarantino fan, but I do like DiCaprio.
Yep.
It's got DiCaprio, Brad Pitt,
Great.
Margot Robbie, Al Pacino, Dakota
Yep.
Fanning.
Great
James-
concept.
Yeah.
It's about the Manson murders, right?
Keller Cast tells story that revolves around an aspiring actor and his stunt double who attempt to establish their careers in Tinseltown in 1969 just as the Manson family murders are taking place.
Yeah.
So, you know, typical family-friendly Tarantino stuff. Yeah, definitely looks insane.
Awesome.
Uh,
All right, so we'll move on to the decent category before we get too crazy with it.
What did I say was going to be the worst, though?
I don't know. You threw a lot of things out there that were
Lot of
really bad.
things.
Charlie's
Oh,
Angels.
here we go. Men in Black International is going to get a shout-out.
All right, nice. All right, yeah. Let's just move on to the decent. We'll be here all day with
all
listing.
day.
Yeah. For me, the decent movies, I'm gonna go with Shazam. High potential for decent.
Yeah, I got that one in mind, too.
I'm just dumping on DC.
Yep,
But
I've got them in there, too.
both X-Men movies have the huge potential to be decent. I literally forgot about because we don't know if
Both X-Men movies, Dark Phoenix?
Yeah, Dark Phoenix is coming out. They're probably gonna have a Super Bowl spot.
What's the other X-Men movie? The New Mutants?
New Mutants one.
Yeah.
Those are both gonna be. I think they're both gonna be very decent.
Yep.
I think New Mutants could even be terrible, but I think they'll probably just be decent. Honestly.
Yeah, I could see that.
And MIB International also very decent.
I
to
put
me-
I put that in bad. I think that could be bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough. But I haven't cared about the last two Men in Black movies, and I'm not going to care about this one either. So I kind of put there as decent. So you got any decent one? I'm gonna go with Shazam, just because I think it's the most. It would be the most interesting thing if that movie is just decent, because I think it has more potential than any other DC movie coming up.
Well, this is going to be the one time we agree, because I was going to pick Shazam as well.
All right, bet.
That's what I was going to pick as most decent, just because it looks like it could be funny. It looks like it could be a little refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not the same as Deadpool, but it kind of feels like Deadpool in the way that it has a lot of potential to be very comedic, and kind of a lot of
room for error.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would put the that in there. It looks like there's going to be a lot of bad movies, but a lot of great movies this year.
True.
So we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yep. I think that's the show.
Yeah.
Good episode. Solid episode. Thanks for joining us here. You've listened to the first ever Decent Awards. Give us a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter.
We be tweeting.
We be tweeting. You got anything to say, Money?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if Reagan said this, but definitely like, comment, subscribe. Hit us on Twitter. But yeah, no, definitely. I think it was a great episode. 2018 is in the books. Let's see how decent 2019 is,
All right, we'll catch y'all later.